All right, all right, all right. We're going live. Are you ready? There we go, there we go, there we go. Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? And are y'all ready? It's about to be a good show. Might not stay on too long, depends on what's going on. Anyone who is going to want to jump in, you're welcome to it. I'm over here getting my TikTok live pumping too. Let me see. I think that's all good. You must select a time. Yep, that's it. All right. Everybody pack in. Anybody jumping in, go ahead and drop your city. Go ahead and drop your city. We for it. There we go. And we are live on TikTok as well. I will try to bring some of the comments from this side over to the YouTube side also. So if you go ahead and drop something here, I'll bring it over to the YouTube side. What's up, what's up, what's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? I hope y'all are ready. It's going to be a good topic. I got a couple of videos to get into. And you see what the topic is, dating economics. It's crazy right here. There's a lot of fun facts that we have for you today. And I'm anxious to see how you guys are going to receive it. And again, at any time in the video, go ahead, feel free to ask a question via comments, or if you really ain't scared, go ahead and pull up. If you ain't afraid to pull up, you know we for it too. Go ahead and pull up. If you have a disagreement, that's good too. It's all the same to me. Go ahead and do it. All right. Anybody up in here yet? As you come in, just go ahead and shout your city. Shout your city wherever you at. We over here representing Jersey today for me, of course. But yeah, go ahead and get it in, get it in, get it in, get it in. All right, so first thing I'll do, I'll go ahead and jump into the video. I usually do play it more than once, so it's not a big deal. If you missed it the first time, we'll go into it again. It's not a problem for me, so we'll go ahead and get that started for y'all. Like to hear it? Here it goes. Choose a file. Let's start with this one.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you can't afford a woman's lifestyle, then date within your budget. Don't call her high maintenance. Don't act like she's the problem. She likes what she likes. You just can't provide it. That's not on her. That's on you.
Right. Right. I got another one for y'all. That's one. But let's get into that for a second. Let's go ahead and get into that for a second. Do you feel like men should be able to afford a certain type of woman? Do you think that women should qualify in order to, you should qualify for a woman? Do you feel like you should qualify for a woman in order to be able to date her? Do you think that there are prerequisites that you should have financially to be able to date a woman? And secondly, do you feel like women offer anything that's so great that they deserve for a man who is getting it financially? Do y'all think so? Do y'all really think that a dude should have certain qualifications in order to be able to date a woman at all? Do you believe that? That's the question we have today. As your homegirl just said, it's brackets to this. It's levels to this. So do you feel like she's valid with that particular statement? Should you only be able to date a certain type of woman who, if you are financially set in a certain way? And if that's the case, what are these attributes from women that would warrant such a thing, right? Do you think that some women warrant those qualifications from a particular man? That's the question. So I want y'all to ask that question to yourself. Do you think, as a woman, and I'd love to hear the ladies' perspective on this too, if you are a woman and you feel like, hey, I need to get a certain type of man, I feel like I qualify for it, then what is it? What is it that qualifies you versus every other woman? What is it that has you above the rest? Because most men and most women are average. What is it about you in particular that would require a man to be able to say, all right, she's worth the price, right? And I have a whole thing that I would like to say about that too. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and do it now. So just imagine, right? Just imagine that you're on the market for a car. You realize that there are no new cars available at all. There's no new cars in sight at all, right? It's impossible for you to get a new car. Every single car that you search for has at least 6 owners, right? Now, if your car has 6 owners, yeah, that's a lot of slaps on your registration. You look at your registration. I know in New Jersey, it tells us at least how many owners it has. Your joint say 6 off rip. So you got 6 owners on it. So yes, it's not a brand new car. It might be certified, pre-owned, but not with 6 owners. At that point, you got to classify it as used. So you're getting a used car. Used car, even if it's a luxury car, they're going to cost you more for the maintenance, right? When you have a used car, the trans is slipping a lot of times, those slipping transmissions, right? Yeah, the trans is slipping. 2, it doesn't ride the same way it used to ride. It makes a lot of funny noises sometimes. But guess what? It's extremely costly for you to buy this car. The maintenance is crazy. It's a gas guzzler. And here's the kicker. They want a new price, a new car priced for lightly used, certified pre-owned, or completely used. When you have a car that's completely used, should you pay the same price? Okay, I see the TikTok is starting to jump over here. So I'm going to bring some of these comments as they come in. If y'all go ahead and say anything, I'll bring it over to the YouTube side so everybody can talk about it and interact. I want y'all to be able to interact with each other. TikTok hasn't really jumped onto the Ecamm Live side just yet, so they make it a little clunky because normally all the comments pop up on the screen or whatever, but it's all good. So I got another video here, but yeah, that's my first one. I wanted to see how y'all really felt about that. Let me go to the second joint we got for y'all today. Okay.
Are moving in together, they're dating, right? And sometimes within the first year.
This is where we're seeing the economy affecting dating norms. People are moving in much faster now because they're infatuated with each other. They've got the rose-colored glasses on. But there's also another huge motivation that is money. Basically, you would be saving a significant amount of money by moving in and having a roommate. Now, this can be an issue for multiple reasons, but one being you have 2 different people who do not know each other very well yet, and they have just moved into close spaces together. This is where you're going to have a lot of the growing pains and basically learning how to not only interact in a relationship, but how to live together too. So it's more hurdles for you to be going through and for you to be struggling through the fixes and finding these compromises in your relationship to make you both happy.
Right. And right. So this is one of the things that are happening in today's couples, right? They are actually going into situations where you may not really be ready to move in with that particular person, but you move in with that person anyway. You move in with them simply because you can't afford to live on your own. And it just seems simpler. So you have one rent to pay. You could split the utilities down, bust down the food, all of that. You can do all that. Now, the problem with that is you don't really know this person, right? You might not match up with the hygiene. Your hygiene might be nasty, right? If your hygiene's nasty, then it's like, damn, do I really want to be with this person? If they're a slob, you're not a slob. Why would you want to be with them, right? Religions, sometimes they don't match up. Morally, you may not align, right? Spiritually, that's a whole another issue, right? And you might be infatuated with this person, but we have to understand that in the first 6 months of damn near any relationship is what they call the honeymoon period. And if we're in the honeymoon period, what do you expect us to do? All y'all on the TikTok side, I see y'all jumping in crazy. Go ahead and drop a question if you want. There we go. What's up? What's up? The homeboy Ted, what it do? What it do? Appreciate you. We're trying to get this live jumping. We going hard on the TikTok side. People are coming in and everything. So let's get it. And any questions, I got them for you. So go ahead and bring them up. We are ready for that. I do have one more video I want to play, and then I want to just get into that discussion real quick, and we'll go ahead and do that. Let me see. Choose file. Okay.
According to this article, half of Gen Z is spending no money on dating, not because they don't want relationships, because they literally cannot afford them. And this article talks about how we're in a romance recession, and I think a lot of people feel that in the way they feel about dating right now. And I think part of it is money. People cannot afford to date. And I've talked in the past about how we can't afford friendships because it's so expensive to go out and do things, and it just feels like every single thing costs money. And so it's been very hard for people to maintain their relationships because of that. So right. I think we're seeing a lot of people opting out, not because they don't want connection, but because connection has in many ways been monetized to the point of inaccessibility. And I think a lot of people feel like they are kind of almost locked out of the opportunity to date because they don't feel like they can afford that. And in a lot of my newsletter articles, I talk a lot about what happens when things become too expensive, how that reshapes culture and reshapes how we relate to one another. And obviously dating typically costs money. That's kind of been a fact for a while. But I think what's changed is the kind of disappearance of affordable spaces, third spaces, where you could meet somebody organically or go on a date organically, and it wouldn't cost like $100 for dinner or something like that. And on top of this, we have dating apps that are really pushing you to pay for a higher subscription tier, which is just another part of like the idea of monetizing connection. And very similar trends are happening in like friendship circles as well. And all of this just leads to people being more isolated, which creates more economic pressure because loneliness is expensive. It often leads to people spending more, which makes connection less affordable. And so I think we're just seeing this like death spiral of the financialization of our social lives, right? Like connection costs money. People without money are becoming more isolated. Isolation creates mental health problems. Mental health problems can reduce your earning capacity, and then less earning capacity means less connection. And a lot of the very fundamental aspects of being human in today's society are becoming luxury goods that are only available to people that can afford them.
Right again. This kind of leans back into what we were saying, and people are not understanding how ridiculous it is with dating, right? The dating apps are crazy. A lot of people don't know these numbers about the dating apps. So if you're on a dating app, you're pretty much doomed. I'm going to drop a full-blown video on this. Now, if you're on a dating app, right, if you're a man, first off, most of the dating apps have at least a 3-to-1 disparity, right? So for every one woman, you would find 3 dudes, and in many of the apps, 4 dudes. So just think about it. If it's 4 dudes to 1, right, you're already at a 25% chance. There's some numbers that are so staggering. If you try to get a swipe, like, because it's so lopsided, you got to understand that the dating apps play the game like the social media apps, whereas they have an algorithm. They have certain users that are more favorable based on their testing. And if you are not testing well, if you put low quality pictures, or you're just not that handsome, right, and you don't have any type of personality, you don't know how to freak it with the dating app, then you're probably going to lose. You're going to lose because you're going to be put to the very bottom. And then on top of that, you have to pay to be shown, right? If you're not paying, then you are not what they call prioritized. And all of these apps, 3 of the big dogs are owned by Match alone, whether you're talking about Match, You're talking about Tinder. You're talking about Hinge, right? All owned by the same people, right? And they have different types of styles. If you look at Tinder, Tinder is more of like a speed show because you can easily scroll by and run past every one of them, right? So that is why that kind of messes you up and forces you into a situation where you are forced to make quick decisions, but you have a refresh button because they expect you to be scrolling so fast that your refresh, you'd be like, oh, I made a mistake. They just want interaction, right? They want a high level of activity. Hinge, on the other hand, makes it extremely difficult for you to do that. The refresh button lasts like a millisecond, right? Or if it even works. And you are forced to go through wording. You are forced to go through all of those different things. So it's a shit show pretty much for men to try to get the women as far as dating, right? So, and here's a crazy number. For the average man, you will swipe 140 times before you get one match. Think about it. So you can't really get mad at a dude if he didn't read your paragraph right away. Because even out of those matches that he had, some women are going to flake and just not be very invested because the women have an abundance of men, not necessarily the men that they want, but there's a lot of men that come their way, right? So when that happens, they have too many choices. So it's very easy to eliminate men because you have too many to choose from. So it actually gives women the illusion that there's so many men to choose from, which technically it is on that spot, but there's not that many that you want that would want you. So you're pretty much doomed. You're going to go down a death spiral pretty much. You're going to be doom scrolling on the apps as much as you can, and then you're to no avail because you're not going to find anything that you want at all. Those of you who want to join the discussion, particularly on the TikTok side, if you go to the link in my bio, my Ecamm link live is there. So if you want to join this discussion, go ahead and do that. I see it's a lot more y'all over there on the TikTok side getting it in. Go ahead and do that if you want to. We here for it. We appreciate you. Go ahead and jump in. Perfect. Just hit the Ecamm live link. Once you get there, I'll let you right on in and you can do what it do. So YouTube side as well. It's in the description. It's the last line under the description for anyone who wants to jump into the live link. If you want to throw your 2 cents in or even 10 cents, I'm here for it. So go ahead and do that if you want to. So that's one part of it. Now, I do want to get into the situation where the dating is causing that much of an issue. I got to make this a little bigger. Oh, yeah. Let me put some of these comments on here from the YouTube guys. Houston, Texas. What up? What up, Houston, Texas? What up? VD Chantilly. I hope I didn't mess that up. And the homeboy Ted, what up? What up? Appreciate y'all. That's the homie right there. Hey, jump in if you want to. But listen, people are getting together right now and they're not taking the right amount of time to date. You're going in because, you broke. Shit. You need some money and you go ahead and cohabitate with the person prematurely, right? And we talked a little bit about that 6-month honeymoon period. Basically, you're meeting that person's representative. When you're meeting that person's representative, you don't know what's really up with them, right? That's just them presenting to you what it is that they think you want them to be versus who they really are. So you need at least a good 6 months to be able to meet someone because a lot of them are just putting on for real, for real. That's what they're doing. They're just putting on. They're not being themselves and not being their true selves. So when that happens, you're going to get a lot of fakeness. You're going to get people who might be a slob, but they're being neat up until they can't do it anymore. As soon as they get comfortable. And I'm sure many of us have seen it. You'll get somebody and they'll be comfortable with you and then everything changes. They used to want to go out every weekend. Now all of a sudden they're a homebody, right? They used to work out, but now all of a sudden they're lazy. They used to be neat. All of a sudden they're a slob, right? So they're not putting in that same effort and they're defaulting back to factory settings. That happens to people all the time. You will see people default into their factory settings once they got comfortable enough and they are what we call dug in. Once people are dug in, then you start to get to see the real them. Let me see if anybody got anything on this side. TikTok guys, y'all jumping in here like crazy. Anybody who has any type of thoughts about this, if you agree or you disagree, go ahead and put that in there. We'll address it. And if surely you want to come in, links in the bio for the TikTok. And my link is in the description of the YouTube video at the very bottom. Go ahead and tap that, and then it'll let you get on live for the interview mode where I can bring you on in and we can discuss this. Now, with that, you got to understand how people move. What you see in that first couple months is not what you're going to see later on. And I've seen people move in like right away. I've seen some people who have met somebody. They're like really digging each other. One of them might already have a steady home, and then they'll let some person come into their house and live there immediately. They just never leave. They'll come in. It'll look like it'll be a one night stand, but they never leave. That's crazy to me. That's how you set yourself up to get robbed. You can't do it like that. And I understand the struggle is real out here, but you still have to be smart about it. There's so many things going on with the economy that really wouldn't make sense. What if I were to tell you that there are 1 in 15 people in America are millionaires? America has just about 24 million millionaires. 24 million millionaires in America. However, 2/3 of us are living check to check. That math ain't math, and is it? I'm going to say it again. There are 24 million millionaires in America. 1 in 15 of us are millionaires, technically. But 2/3 of us, 66%, are living check to check. And that just shows you how wicked it is when you think about it. If you have so many people who are living check to check, how could 1 in 15 of us be millionaires? I'll explain it a little bit. So some people are actually millionaires, and then there's technical millionaires. We count millionaires based on assets, right? And that could be very confusing. You could have a mortgage for a house that's worth $500,000. The average home price in America is about $400,000, right? So that by itself brings you damn near halfway there. If you have 401k benefits, they count that as well. If you have any type of retirement, you have a pension, they can count that as well. So, and of course, all of your other assets that you may own, whether it be your cars, whether it be your whatever material assets that are measurable in the economy. So we'll have all these things, but we're not managing it. A lot of us are house poor, right? If you went and got a house for $400,000 and you only make $70,000, you might be in trouble, right? And this happens, especially if you would have got your loan before they tightened up. Back in 2008, they were giving loans to everyone, right? And there was a mortgage bubble, and we saw it coming. Well, the people who were really into economics, they knew that there was a bubble and it would eventually burst. And we all lost a bunch of money as a result of it, except for the people who were in the know. They were a little bit ahead of it. They saw it coming and they put their money in the right places and won anyway. What you have to understand is that the ultra wealthy are going to always be ultra wealthy because they're in the know. They're networked and they pay attention to the money. If you were paying attention to the money, then you're always going to be in the know. And if you're networked, you're always going to be in the know. And once you're in the know and you're networked, you don't actually have to know how to earn money. Once you already have a certain amount, then it's all investments from there. You just have to know where to put your money to multiply it. So once you're set up and your network, there's nothing that anyone really can do to break you, because even in a falling economy, the worst economies, we can go ahead and still get money if you know where to put your money. You just have to know what to bet against. And a lot of people do it. So that's one of them things you just have to pay attention to. Your best bet is to start to study how money works in America. Once you decide that you're going to look at who's winning, who's losing, and why they're losing, you'll understand it. I do want to talk about my initial question, though. Do we feel like there is a type of person who qualifies for a man who's economically sound? And if so, what are those requirements that would afford you that ability to be able to obtain that man? Right? Because there are enough millionaires for women to have access to, but a good portion of those guys are already taken. Women snatched them up sometimes before they got there, as they didn't wait to meet them at the finish line. But there's still a decent amount for a woman to nab if that's what they're really trying to do. But let's say you were a single woman and you were in the market for one of those millionaire guys. What is it that you think you need to do to qualify for that particular man? What is it about a woman that qualifies it? Is it purely based on looks? Is it purely based on how you treat them? What are those things that would separate a woman from the rest of the average woman? What is it about a woman that makes her exceptional for her to be able to obtain an exceptional man? I would love to know what you guys think about that. Anybody have any questions or anything, go ahead and drop them in the comment section. I will absolutely address it. And if you want to pull up, go ahead and pull up too. I'm with that. I'm for it. Go ahead and pull up if you want to pull up. You can, if you're not bashful and you want to join this discussion, go ahead and do that. But I want to know what it is that will qualify a woman to be able to obtain one of these exceptional guys before I give my opinion, because I can kind of tell you what I think, and maybe you guys will disagree. I'm going to run and for anybody who just jumped in, I'm going to run the videos again, and then I'm going to get into that question. What makes a woman actually qualify for one of these exceptional dudes?
I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you can't afford a woman's lifestyle, then date within your budget. Don't call her high maintenance. Don't act like she's the problem. She likes what she likes. You just can't provide it. That's not on her. That's on you.
That's not on her. That's on you. You can't afford her. Ladies, go ahead. Go ahead and answer this one, because I want to know what it is. Let's just say this particular woman right here. What is it about this particular woman that would be frustrated with men who she believes can't afford the price? That means that her asking price is higher than the men she's typically running into. And one thing that I try to tell people is, if you don't like the results that you yield, then you must improve. You don't need to whine about it. You need to get better. If you are sucking in the dating market, and you do suck in the dating market if you can't obtain anybody to appreciate you, there's got to be something wrong. And usually it's something within our control that we can fix. So if you're one of them people who is not doing well in the dating market, are you self-aware enough to realize, listen, there's something that I need to be doing that a little bit different to fare well in the dating market? Because there always is someone who is doing well. There's always somebody who you look like, damn, how they get that? Damn, how they get that? I see a lot of dudes saying that, damn, how they get that? He either got some game, some riz, or some bread. Something. It's something that he does or did that allowed him to be able to afford that particular woman. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. Who sent the message? Add a comment. Oh, matter of fact, I'm going to add the link right here too. I'm gonna put the link in the actual chat as well. See, for y'all in the TikTok side, go ahead and see what to do. I put that in there for y'all. So now you can join the live if you want to. The live is right there in the link over there. I'm going to go ahead and put the live in the comments on this side too. Boom. So either one of y'all, go ahead and copy paste that link. It's in the chat. If you want to pull up and you want to talk that smack with me, go ahead and do that. But I'm curious to see, what do y'all really think about this particular woman? Let's go ahead and rate her. I'm about to give her a smooth score in a minute, but I want y'all to rate this woman and let me know why do you think this woman feels like she qualifies for that? Because she seems angry. To me, it seemed like it was personal. I thought that she actually experienced this one time or another. Let's see.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you can't afford a woman's lifestyle, then date within your budget. Don't call her high maintenance. Don't act like she's the problem. She likes what she likes. You just can't provide it. That's not on her. That's on you.
Yeah, let's give it to her. We're gonna give it to her. I'm sorry. We're gonna give it to her. I'm sorry. We're gonna have to. But
today I got time, cuz.
Yeah, we're gonna give it to her. We're gonna go ahead and rate her. Anybody in here, go ahead and rate her. I don't know what you think her number is, but give it a number. Rate her from 1 to 10. I'm not sure if this particular still shot is very favorable. I'm gonna try to be fair about it. Let's see. Damn, I can't find a favorable one. I guess if I can't find a favorable still, you might not be favorable. But yeah, let's leave it there. Go ahead and rate homegirl. Go ahead and rate her. Go ahead and rate her. I'm gonna put that live link in the chat again. Go ahead and rate her. What do y'all think about this particular girl? Put a number in there. Give it a 1, give it a 2. You can't say 1. She ain't a 1. Give her just give her a rating from 1 to 10. What is her rating from 1 to 10? How would you rate homegirl right here? I want to know. How would you rate her? Because I don't want to sit here and dog the woman. I do, but I don't. Right? She's a 1. Damn. Wait, no. I thought I saw a 1 in the chat. What's her rate her from 1 to 10? Because she's talking smack. So yes, she warrants at least a rating, even if you're not going full blown roaster. She absolutely deserves a rating. I'm gonna say, I say she's mid. She's just about mid, right? When I say mid, meaning a 5, she's about your average girl, right? And there's a lot of makeup going on, right? A lot of enhancements, lots of enhancements. Us as men don't generally get to run around with a lot of enhancements. I've seen a lot of dudes doing the fake hair and stuff like that, but the little man wigs and all that, which I don't approve of. But we typically can't do very much outside of that. We don't throw on a bunch of makeup unless you're Shannon Sharp. We don't really throw on a pound of makeup and let it cheat for us. We do it the hard way. So if I were going to rate her, I give her about a 5. That's it. She gets a 5. And that's about average. And your average man probably can't afford to date her, which is where we find the issue. A lot of these dudes who she's going to run into, they're going to date her just enough to hit. And then once they hit, the ball is in our court, buddy. Once the dude hit, the ball is in the man's court. I don't think we understand that. So I'm going to say it again. Once the dude hits, the ball is in the man's court. And that's exactly why many women are reluctant to smash right away. Not necessarily because you would judge them, because these women really don't care about being judged. If you observe the way that many of them go outside, the clothes that they wear, how revealing they are, and many of the things that they do, judgment doesn't seem to be their top priority. Judgment does not seem to be their top priority. So that's not the case. They don't want to let you hit because they don't want to yield the leverage. They feel like they have leverage because that's their one trick pony. They don't offer very much else aside from the kitty. Once you get past the kitty, that's it. That was her best trick. There's no maintenance behind it. They usually have a sorry mentality. They usually have no serious skill set. They're not sitting here baking and cooking like your mama did, and definitely not like your grandmama did. They're not doing all that. They're offering kitty. And you would think that they were the only one who was offering it. Or maybe they think that theirs is far superior to the average kitty. And no, that's usually not the case. Most of them who feel like they got that, they feel like they got that. They really do. They feel like they got that. They don't. It's usually mid. Honestly, it's usually mid. Most women who brag about how great their kitty is, almost always mid, just mid. And I don't know how they even assess that, right? Because it's not, I don't know if dudes are telling them that and lying to them and gassing them up, but most times they really feel like it. And that's not the case. Almost never the case. You do run into some joints that, you know, they got it. There's a few of them joints out there that got it. But in the overwhelming majority, nah, I would not say so. Not at all. That's just not a thing. So if we get past that, we're like, what is it that you do? Are you a nurturer? Are you a great companion? What is it about you that makes you qualify for that? What makes you feel like, hey, I need to have this extremely good looking, well dressed, good smelling, charismatic, wealthy guy? Like, we have a lot of demands because we see these men on a regular basis via dating app or, you know, Instagram. They fly you out, this and that, but that's not reality. Most people aren't going to want to keep you. They'll do that for you this weekend, but next weekend they have a different objective with a different woman. And that's sadly how it goes most of the time, unfortunately. But that's a real thing. That is a real thing, honestly. I'm going to put that, I'll throw that, the link's in the chat. So if y'all see my name on it, my logo, the link's in the chat. I put it on the YouTube and the TikTok link for anybody to come up here and join if you felt like it. I'm going to run this other joint one more time before we get out of here.
According to this article, half of Gen Z is spending no money on dating, not because they don't want relationships, because they literally cannot afford them. And this article talks about how we're in a romance recession, and I think a lot of people feel that in the way they feel about dating right now. And I think part of it is money. People cannot afford to date. And I've talked in the past about how we can't afford friendships because it's so expensive to go out and do things, and it just feels like every single thing costs money. And so it's been very hard for people to maintain their relationships because of that. So I think we're seeing a lot of people opting out, not because they don't want connection, but because connection has in many ways been monetized to the point of inaccessibility. And I think a lot of people feel like they are kind of almost locked out of the opportunity to date because they don't feel like they can afford that. And in a lot of my newsletter articles, I talk a lot about what happens when things become too expensive, how that reshapes culture and reshapes how we relate to one another. And obviously dating typically costs money. That's kind of been a fact for a while. But I think what's changed is the kind of disappearance of affordable spaces, third spaces, where you could meet somebody organically or go on a date organically and it wouldn't cost like $100 for dinner or something like that. And on top of this, we have dating apps that are really pushing you to pay for a higher subscription tier, which is just another part of like the idea of monetizing connection. And very similar trends are happening in like friendship circles as well. And all of this just leads to people being more isolated, which creates more economic pressure because loneliness is expensive. It often leads to people spending more, which makes connection less affordable. And so I think we're just seeing this like death spiral of the financialization of our social lives, right? Like connection costs money.
How many of y'all are having issues on dating apps? I'm curious. I don't know as much about the female experience as I do about the men's experience because there are plenty of articles, plenty of complaints from men in general as to how terrible the dating market is. I don't see it nearly as much on the woman's side of things, right? I just know that the numbers do favor women, but I don't think that they are doing as well either, right? They might be doing better than the men with at least access, right? They have the accessibility for sure, but they're not getting the men that they want to stay. And I think the main reason for that is because you were usually all Eskimo sisters. And when I say that, I'm saying that to say men who you really like, all of the women like. They check the same boxes that you universally appreciate. When you have a man who possesses all those things, all the women will flock to that way, right? We already talked about the 80-20 rule. And for those of you who don't know about that 80-20 rule, it basically means that women find 80% of men to be unattractive. So that means that, and that's 80% of women. So 80% of women find 80% of men to be unattractive. So if you got 5 women, right, you have 4 of those women who are going to find these 5 guys, right? Now, out of those 5 women, 4 of them are going to find 4 of them unattractive. And it doesn't even out, because that means all 4 of these want this guy. All 4 of these want this guy. So that leaves 1 woman for the rest of you guys. That leaves 1 woman for the rest of you guys. So that's where we're at. Now, when you think about it, if you have 4 women going after that one guy, what do you think is going to happen? He is going to have way too much fun with those 4 women. And is he going to treat them well? No. He can only give you 25% of the time that he allotted for women in the first place. 25% of the time text you, 25% of the time take you on dates, 25% of the time offer you McLovin. You already know what it is. 25% of the time. That's all he got for you. 25% of the time. And that's if he really feels like it at all. And the numbers don't even always go that way, because if the guys want to do more work as far as getting women, they're not going to invest it into one particular woman. They're going to spread that out. The dudes who can get women, even though those are the numbers, it still spreads out even worse, because the dudes who are in the very top, like the top 5% and even up to 10%, they have their pick of the litter. They don't have 4 women. They have access to an abundance of women, more women that they can handle. God forbid if they got game, it's over. They're going to probably have a roster of 20 if they want to. If they want to, they will have 20 women, and nobody's going to stop them. Nobody's going to stop them. There's nothing that you can do to tell a man to stop. And we get these complaints from women a lot. Women will say, hey, don't let all those dudes do that. Y'all need to hold men accountable. Y'all need to. Men don't listen to other men like that, right? You're not going to tell another dude, hey, man, you need to chill out. All the women, man, you're doing too much. Because you're doing exactly what that other guy wishes he could do. But women just enable him. It has to stop with the women. Women have to actually set a standard. You have to want to say no to these people who aren't going to commit to me, right? But you want this guy so bad, and you realize that he's so difficult to get, that you are going to just give him the everything right away. And that's not always going to work in your favor. It's usually not going to work in your favor, which is crazy. It's not going to work in your favor. So when you're looking at those type of stats, this is what life is looking like for some of us. And this is why dating sucks. It's designed to suck. And to be honest, I feel like the economy is a very large part of it. But what really exacerbated the issue was social media, for one, and dating apps for 2, for sure, because women actually have access to way more of these women, of these men. Women have all the access to them. So in their mind, they feel like they can get these dudes, because dudes will definitely hit them back. There's a bunch of dudes hitting them, and they'll ignore most of those dudes. Most of those dudes, they don't look at anything differently, right? For the attributes that women say they appreciate, here's what they should do. They should show women paragraphs first. I don't think that women should see images first. I think women should see paragraphs first. They should see your bio first. Let me know if that's a bad take. Women need to see paragraphs first in a dating app, not a picture, because women don't ever say that, oh, I want him to look good. Okay, just put 6'5" in your bio if that's what you are, right? If you must have that, put that in your bio. You could read that, 6'5". You don't need to look at a handsome, because they never say they need a handsome dude. They say they need somebody who's caring, somebody who would spend time with them, somebody who's financially sound. How about we just do a metrics-based system for the women? Let's just give them what they say they want. They say that they want a man to have all these attributes and emotional intelligence, right? All these things. Show the guy's emotional intelligence level. Show the guy's height, because I know that's a damn requirement. You ain't getting away from that. I'm not even trying to get you from it. Put that in there and put those things first before you even see, bro. And then you go to pictures and you sort it out that way. You will find so many more suitable people for you that would actually love you, that would actually care for you, that would actually pay you attention, that would actually not flake on you, that would actually want to marry you. But you want to get a good looking guy, build a bear into somebody who is supposed to be caring, loving, emotionally intelligent, spiritual, rich, and pretty much the Dos Equis guy. You want the Dos Equis guy. No, that's not how it works. There's not many of those men. You're talking about the top 5%, and you can forget about it. As bad as it sounds, yeah. Most of you will never have that guy. Most of you will never have real access to that guy. You just have to understand that. I know some of these dudes too, man. And from what I'm telling you right now, that's probably not the way you want to go all the time. I think for you to want one of those guys, you need to court him. Women, you ain't ready to court that dude. Forget you. You're getting nothing. These dudes need to be courted by you. You know why? Because he's the prize in your predicament. You need to court him. Don't wait for him to court you. You court him, because there's way more of you than there is of him. So who needs to be showing the appreciation? All that chivalry stuff out the window. All that courting out the window. You go ahead and treat this man like a king. Because if you try to give that same attitude that you did with these guys you're dealing with who mid, these regular guys, it's not going to work, because there's some woman who's going to be gaga over this guy. There's some woman who's going to be all over him, and he's not even going to be impressed by that. You have to try so hard to nab one of those dudes. You have to build yourself up in every single space. You need to be emotionally ready yourself, right? You need to be healed from all those men that put all those miles on you. You need to be fit for sure. You need to know how to do all of those things that men appreciate. Like, you need to be a nurturer, because you could run into them dudes sometimes, but can you entice them? And a lot of women don't like to compete. Women hate to compete because they feel like men are supposed to chase them. And men do chase you, but not the men you want. You're not getting the men you want because you don't know how to place yourself in where those men are, and you don't know how to work for anything, or you're not willing to, as far as men are concerned. Because you do work hard. Women are getting their education on. Women are getting their weight up as far as earning. They haven't surpassed men yet, contrary to popular belief, but they are getting very close. They are more educated. It's probably about, there's at least double of the amount of women that are in college, and probably about, I think it's about 3 to 1 now. And certain colleges have 3 to 1 or worse. So there are more and more women who are getting their education. It's not necessarily turning right into dollars, because some of the majors that people chose are weird. I think STEM is a better idea. I think the medical field is a better idea, law sometimes. But I see people sometimes you want to get a liberal arts degree and stuff. I'm like, good luck with that, right? You probably should get something that is going to earn you money right away. You probably should get a degree that's going to earn you money right away, because as soon as you get out of school, you're going to have to pay student loans. Now you have potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, and you have to live on your own. A lot of times your parents don't want you to come back to the house. They're like, okay, you're a woman now. What are you going to do? So it behooves you to, for one, pick a major that makes sense, and two, try to find your man in college. Try to find your man in college. A lot of women who even are beautiful and have access to all these dudes, they squandered their youth on a bunch of F-boys. That's a fact. That is a fact. You were playing around. You were squandering your youth, and then you want to hit a Steph Curry buzzer beater when you're like 29. And like, oh, okay, you know what? It's time. Hot girl summers are over. Let me go ahead and get serious about this whole dating thing now. Get out of here. Yo, I just peeped the receipt. Yo, you put a 0 down. You rated that woman a 0. I don't think that was fair. I'm going to put her up one more time. I don't think that was fair. You gave her a 0. That, I mean, you're absolutely entitled to it, but come on, man. For real? What? I'm gonna look at it again.
I don't know who needs to hear this,
said
but if you can't afford a woman's lifestyle, then
he
date
said a
within
0.
your budget. Don't call her high maintenance. Don't act like she's the problem. She likes what she likes. You just can't provide it. That's not on her. That's on you.
0. That's crazy work. Y'all think this is a 0 right here? I don't know about a 0. Damn, 0. Nah, I'll give her a 5. You could give her a 0, but are you joking, or you think she's a 0 for real? Damn, you for real? All right, you got to explain. Explain why this is a 0, please. Please. Please explain why this person is a 0. I am very curious to know why this person's a 0. Why are they a 0? Hold on, I'm trying to see. I can't see your account right here. I kind of want to see you. Oh, okay. You got sneakers? Oh, man, I want to see what you actually look to see. You gave him a 0. Tell me why you gave him a 0. Tell me why you gave him a 0. And feel free to pull up if you want to. If you ain't bashful, you could pull up on the in the link. Copy paste that link I put in the chat. You could pull up and explain. You got some explaining to do, because zero's crazy. I'm not mad at you, but damn, 0.
Dare you?
0. Come on now.
Dare you?
That's crazy. 0 is crazy. Why 0? I don't know. Like I said, I give it a 5. I don't know about a 0. 0 is like kind of wicked. 0, that's heavy. But you're entitled to your opinion. I just would love to know how you came to that conclusion of a 0. That is wicked. All right, so I'm gonna take it off her. I don't want y'all to keep roasting her that bad. Damn, he said 0. Yeah, but yeah, I'm certainly not on the side of her. I don't know. See, and that's the whole thing. She didn't say, she was not specific as to what people should have to pay her. I don't know what her price is. I do agree that, okay, the man has to afford you, whatever, if that's the case, but that's not even it. See, what people fail to realize right now, there's a lot of women who are making more bread than their significant other, whether it be their husband, boyfriend, whatever. A lot of women are making more. So there are plenty of average dudes who have access to women who are making more money than them. It's just what it is today. Women are actually afforded more opportunities than men in the workplace simply because they're women. That's a thing. It's a real thing, right? So sometimes the requirements are not as high as it is for men because they have to offer an equal opportunity, right? And I'm not going to say if that's good or bad, whatever. I do realize that the system was swayed in the wrong direction, and now we have what I would consider to be an overcorrection. I do believe it's an overcorrection, and it is what it is. Men are actually in a place where you don't have to provide anymore. And I think that is the first thing that changed the dynamic between men and women. The relationship dynamic has been changed ever since we decided that we were going to have women in the workforce. or they decided, because I damn sure didn't decide that. But once women got in the workforce, it made it unaffordable for men to be able to just provide for an entire household. We can't do that anymore. Most of us can't. We'll say that. Most of us can't do that. Some of us still could, but not every one of us can do that. And with that, it did a few things. It gave women the ability to not need a man. So it just let us know how much women really appreciate us or not. Women, once they got to the bread, they pretty much gave us the bird. They got to the bread and gave us the bird. They said, all right, well, we don't really need you anymore. So yeah, forget you. So now they want a dude to be able to match their fit, right? You got to be making as much money or more money than me. And it's not even just the money, because a lot of women don't even appreciate blue collar dudes. You could be a construction worker making real cake. All right. But they don't care. They want you to have some type of blue collar situation. They want you to be a boss, right? And that's all that matters to them sometimes. You don't have to be a boss. It shouldn't be anyway. You should respect the man for his character. What he does should not depict how you treat him. As long as he's able to provide at least his portion, then what are we doing? I don't think that you should judge a man based on what his economic status is. But it is what it is. Women are doing that. I don't think that there is any end in sight. So that's probably what we're going to experience, is women who are judging men based on their economic placement. Do we think it's fair, though? No, but life ain't fair. And what do men do to combat that? You get your weight up. You got to get your weight up. As a man, that's what we're supposed to do. We are told, hey, man, you got to get your weight up. And for the most part, we do that. We get our weight up, right? But not everybody. What most people have to understand, right? We're saying that men need to get their game up. One thing I always speak of is the bell curve. If all men got their game up, two things are going to happen. It's still going to be average, because the average will be, let's say all men make $50,000, right? That's the average. That's about the average now. Let's say that all of those men that were in the average got their weight up and started making 100,000. You know what happens next? Inflation. Inflation is what happens. And then all of those men again are going to be average, because now 100,000 is the average. So if all men ever do that, it's still going to be the same damn thing. You dig what I'm saying? So that's the dilemma we're faced with. It's almost impossible for us to get our weight up. As an individual, many of us could. That's correct. But as a whole, for when people address men as a whole and say that y'all aren't doing well, okay, I get it. Now, there are some things we can improve. Socially, I think that there's some work to be done. Work on your kids. Make sure that they are interacting with people. Pull coats. If you see your friend out of pocket, tell them, like, hey, man, that's weird. I don't think that we have enough coat pulling anymore. We don't feel comfortable pulling coats like we used to pull coats back in the day. I think we need to get back to that. Once we can get back to that, we can have some correction. People are extremely offended when somebody pulls your coat. They're like, oh, what? What do you mean? Why would you say that? And you know, people are soft nowadays. We can't take constructive criticism. There's a lot of men who can't even take constructive criticism, which is crazy. We should be able to do that. We should be able to defend ourselves. I think that's extremely important. We should be well read. Books are pretty much free. You can go to anyone's library, grab some books, travel whenever it is you can, and that's it. I don't know what coat pulling is. Oh, coat pulling. I got you. My bad. that term might be a little old for you. And what coat pulling means I'm going to tell you, hey, this is what's wrong with you. Coat pulling would be like, let's just say my man breath is kicking, right? I'm going to pull his coat. Pull your coat basically means like, oh, hey, real quick. Pull your coat. Hey, look, your breath is kicking. You probably need to brush your tongue too, right? Or remove that rotting molar in your mouth. That type of thing. That's pulling coats. It's about having that level of honesty with someone where you can actually tell them, look, go ahead and fix yourself and get better. I think that we should. What does your breath is kicking mean? Oh my God. All right. That means your breath stinks. You possibly have halitosis. Your breath stinks. It reeks of old spit. Who knows? Like just whatever. You got beef you ate and it's stuck in your teeth. You didn't brush or floss properly. That type of thing. Your oral hygiene stinks, right? And a lot of people, their oral hygiene stinks. So it is what it is. Oh yeah, people are too sensitive to do that today. You think so? You're right. And that's what I'm saying. I don't think we should be. We got to get into the habit of it, right? You might lose some friends because of it. But I think that the one thing that you could do is work on your delivery a little bit. If you're going to do that, work on your delivery. Just say it in the most positive way possible, right? And you be like, hey, look, man, you about to scare off all the joints, yo. You about to scare off all the joints. You got to get your breath right, man. Like, look, something going on. Just check it out real quick. And that's the best you can really do. If they're too sensitive for a statement like that, then I don't know. I don't like to have friends like that. If I can't be honest with you, then I can't be your friend. You know what I'm saying? If I can't be honest with you and you can't be honest with me, if you're not willing to pull my coat, then I can't deal with you. I am around habitual coat pullers. We will tell each other when something is wrong with us. I'm going to tell you, bro, your breath is kicking. He's going to tell me, yo, man, you still got a piece of toilet paper hanging out the back of your pants, right? We do that. Like, we'll tell each other if something's wrong, whatever that might look like. We should be comfortable with that. Bring that back again. I'm going to go ahead and infuse the link again for anybody who wants to have this discussion live. Go ahead and do that. The link is in the chat for anybody, YouTube or TikTok. All you got to do is copy paste that link. If you can't do your copy paste, maybe you're on an iPhone or something like that, and copy pasting might be way harder than an Android, then go ahead and go into the link in my bio. It's right there too. Maybe it's safer for men to not so much. Women, really? That's how y'all feel about each other? Women, y'all can't tell each other what's up? Is that for real? Y'all can't tell each other what's up? No way. Y'all can't. I'm about to post that on the YouTube side if I can copy paste it. Hold on. Can I? See translation. No, I can't. Damn it. Yeah, it won't let me paste these. I can't copy them for whatever reason. It won't let me copy the join. I would have dropped it over to YouTube. But yeah, you really feel like it's safer for men than women. So let me know this. Women, can they actually talk to each other at all? Y'all can't tell each other. So you have to co-sign everything in order to keep your friendship with a woman? Is that for real? You have to co-sign everything that she says? Is that real? No what? Reese PC, no what? What? No to what? But I want to know if is that practical? Can you not keep it G with the women? You're telling me that's a real thing where I can't keep it real with the women? I cannot say, hey, look, yeah, that right there that you're doing, that's bogus. I can't do that. You can't do that. Well, look, any woman friend that I have, I already do it. And it is what it is. They will catch an attitude. Damn, that's sad, man. Oh man, that is sad. That is sad. Sad.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Sad. Straight up sad. That is sad. How is that a thing? How is it that you're not able to talk to your peers and they're supposed to be your friends? Who can you talk to then? So that explains a lot why some women who aren't necessarily dimes can feel like they're dimes, because if another woman communicates it to you, which opinions they validate a lot more than men's, another woman would tell you fly as hell unless you go outside looking crazy. right? Let you go outside looking crazy. I've tried to tell women, hey, love, your tag is hanging out. Don't tell me that you told somebody that their tag was hanging out and then that was a problem. You're not going to tell me that and have me believe that. You're not going to tell me that someone's tag was hanging out and then they told you something crazy and they had an attitude. And she turned around and was like, why you lying on me? Damn, yo, what? Ain't no way. Ain't no way, yo. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. This is for real. This is not a joke. You tell your friend, hey, your tag is hanging out. I'm just going to tell you something. You might need some new friends.
You're fired.
You might need some friends. You might need some new friends because I can't understand why somebody would do that. And, like, for real. If this is you big dummy, don't do that. Don't do that. To me, I can't have friends like that because I crave being honest. I'm not a liar, and I don't lie by omission either. If you the homie, I should be able to talk to you comfortably. I like to communicate with people that I trust. Honestly, I don't like to lie to people, and I won't be around people who I have to lie to. That's just not a good look. To me, that's corny. Why do I need to lie to be around you? There's no one's friendship who is so valuable that I need to lie to be around them. And that's real talk. And maybe because I find people who I can genuinely be honest with, maybe that's why. But I don't know. If all women are behaving like that, then I guess that's the crazy part. Especially if you tell them they got an odor. Oh. Have you tried to tell a woman she's got an odor? Ain't no way, yo. Ain't no way.
Brother,
Yo.
what's that? What's that, brother?
Right. Like, I can't. Ain't no way. Yeah, I can see that part. The odor part is crazy. But you still should be able to tell them that. You should be able to tell them that. Oh, I tried to tell a woman about her blouse being too see through. Oh, and she said I was judging. Okay, so I mean, I understand where you at. You tried, and it's valid. Is this the same woman? Do you have like one really sensitive friend, or are these like a whole bunch of other people? I just say, all right, say less, do you, and didn't hang out with her anymore. Oh, damn. So you lost some friends over that too. Damn. That's crazy. That is crazy. I don't understand that part. I thought you could be honest with people. But it is what it is, man. I get it. I get it. I get it. But it completely makes sense why women refuse to improve. And this is no strike on women, but this is a reality. From what you're saying right now to me, Official Mama and Reese PC, you are both telling me that women are above reproach, which is crazy. Crazy. You shouldn't be. You should never be. How do you improve? Us as men, we're relatively competitive. I know women are competitive, particularly when it comes to men. So we're competitive, so we should be able to communicate. We'll tell each other, yo, nah, this ain't it, bro. This ain't it. We should be able to do that. I don't understand why we can't talk to each other truthfully. You have to be fake. You have to be phony to be able to retain female friends. That's wild. That is wild. Most people are dishonest. Damn. I have 3 real friends that are women. I will hang out with others and see how they are in public. Gotcha. Now, those 3 friends that you're saying are your real friends, are you able to communicate to them that something is wrong with them without them tripping on you or just feeling like you hating or something like that? Because I think that a lot of it is the delivery. Like when I normally do it, I never do it in front of people. Unless you really, really cool. Like some friends we have, we will absolutely uh, roast you in front of each other. There were instances where we would do that. We would go hard on you. We would actually double and triple team you. Pause. With a roast. Like if we see like, yo, your pants tight as hell, bro. What you doing? Yo, can can your legs breathe? Are you cutting off your circulation? You know what I'm saying? Oh, we'll do that. Not in front of people we don't know, but like if it's a group of us, yes, we will do that. We will do that sometimes. Absolutely. I'm going to be getting out in a little bit, but if anybody does want to jump into the live and you want to have this discussion, you want to get your 2 cents in so I don't read the chat as much, I'll bring you up on the live in little square, circle, oval, rectangle, whichever you prefer, and we will have the discussion. But I'm very curious, especially for the ladies, to tell me how dishonest these women actually are. I want to know. Wait, what did I do? Oh, did somebody just jump on? Did I do something here? They try to jump in the wrong way. You know I have a different way of jumping in the live, right? Yo. Oh, what up, Rush? What up, Rush? Hey, yo. Check it out. Jump in the live through the link, bro. Because I'm gonna have you on YouTube too. Can you saw the link I do? Yeah, word is born. But I got a link up for the Ecamm Live. Jump right in, bro. I want to have this discussion with you, Rush. Go ahead. Word. Pause. Yeah, because this way I could have a homie on both of them. Pause. Like he's going to be on the other side of it. It's dope when we can have it cross platforms. There's a link in there. I'm gonna post the link again. Rush, if you're still on, I'm gonna post the link again for you to jump in. This is my link. Hit that link right there. The link is in the YouTube also. Got the live link. Jump in and we're gonna bring you in 4K. So you know, those of us on the I don't know what it's doing on TikTok, but I know it's coming in pretty clear, I would gather. But I know for sure on YouTube we streaming in 4K. So if you ain't on 4K, go ahead and bump it up. I won't show on TT. What? It won't show on TT? It won't? Well, all right. If the link won't show on TikTok, go in my bio. My bio has the link. If you go to my bio, I have all of my links. And the one that says Ecamm Live 2DC, that whole thing, it's in my bio. The link is in my bio. So you'll be able to catch it there. Link is definitely in the bio. So go ahead and jump in from there if you can't find it from there. And if you're on my YouTube side, my live link is in the bottom of the description. I also threw it in the chat too. So I definitely want to hear from some people. I know Rush want to jump in. He's a fellow content creator. Y'all need to go check him out when he come up. I'm gonna see if he could drop his link or whatever. So yeah, but if you jump in through the app, I'm gonna try to navigate to it if I could. Let me see. Oh, here go my other phone. Yeah, I want to see that real quick. I'm gonna jump in because I'm gonna give y'all an opportunity. I know a couple of people want to jump in, and I definitely want to have this discussion with y'all. But you're welcome to it. Let me go to my profile real quick. So if you go to my profile and then you look at the bio, yeah. Oh, damn! I don't even have that there. I'm tripping. Hold up, I am tripping. It's on my YouTube side for sure. I thought I had all my links on there. I did have all my links on there, didn't I? I am tripping if I ain't got that link in there because I know I put it in there. Let me see. Links, Lemon 8 and one more. That is certainly not it. My bad, y'all. And it's not showing up in the chat. It won't let my live link go through the chat. That is crazy work. I didn't know. And they put a Lemon 8 link to replace my other joint. Somebody made their way in through the YouTube. Thank you, my person. And if you really can't find it, it's in my my Instagram link too. I'm about to bring you up. Let me see who dropped in. It's on my Instagram link too. The Ecamm Live joint. All right, I see you. I got you. Give me a sec. I'm gonna pull you in. Oh, there you go. Rush and Naomi bet. We got both of y'all. Let's get it. Y'all ready? Damn, Rush, you fell off. I got you here. Oh shit. Wait. You in the green room. Damn, you was right over here. Y'all both came up. Try to jump back in. I just saw y'all, both of y'all. And then y'all both fell out. How the hell y'all both fall out at the same time, yo? That's crazy. All right, jump in again. My bad, y'all. Jump in again. You'll be able to get right in. But we're going to discuss this. I want to know why females cannot. Wait, I followed the. All right, here we go. Here we go. Rush is on. Yo, Rush. Yo, Rush. Are you muted? Let me bring. Oh, you muted. Let me see. Guest is in green room. Yo, Rush, what up, man?
Yo, what up, what up? Salute.
What's up? What's up? Can y'all hear the brother Rush? You ain't camming up today, huh?
Nah, I just left I was supposed to interview Zoe Ali, but I left my spot. Yeah.
Yeah. I followed the link in your platform. I can hear. Okay, bet. I saw you come up. If you came up as Naomi, you came up. I could bring you back in. You followed the link. It worked. But yeah, I'll bring you back up, Naomi. So yeah, we I don't know how much of the discussion you caught, but we were talking about like you could jump in on any of the topics. But we was basically talking about what we had going on. I'm gonna make your square a little smaller because they can't see you, man. But I get it. So we had people talking about they're moving in together because they can't afford to live by themselves. We had another lady who was saying, I'll play the video for you, man. Let's make it easy. You can hear and see everything going on, right?
Yeah, I can hear and see you.
I bet. Listen to this joint. Listen to this lady, yo.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you can't afford a woman's lifestyle, then date within your budget. Don't call her high maintenance. Don't act like she's the problem. She likes what she likes. You just can't provide it. That's not on her. That's on you.
Yikes. Brother, when you hear that, first off, rate her from 1 to 10 from what you see. Rate her from 1 to 10.
I didn't see the video. I just heard the audio.
I'll run it one more time. Can you see it?
I can see it now, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna play it again.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you can't afford a woman's lifestyle, then date within your budget. Don't call her high maintenance. Don't act like she's the problem. She likes what she likes. You just can't provide it. That's not on her. That's on you.
What are you thinking when you hear that, brother?
Yo, a lot of these chicks that have the similar aesthetics as her, they come out with these bogus I guess like their checklist or whatever, but they really not living like that, like aesthetically she couldn't be on a level of a sugar baby because she doesn't look good enough for that,
How would you rate homegirl first off, 1 to 10?
Oh man, I'll give her a -2.
Stop it, man. Come on. It's 1 to 10 first off. Come on, man.
Yeah,
keep
yo,
it
a -2. I'm keeping it a bean, man.
No, you're not. There's no such thing as negative. You can't. So you gotta. So all right, I'm gonna give you the range. A 1 would be somebody who's completely ugly, either so skinny their ribs are showing, or so fat they're on my 600-pound life. That would be a 1, right? That would be a 1. That's a 1 because it starts at 1. That's a 1. Now the 2 would be like, so now 4 would be like, 3 is like where you start getting into the hit or bowl phase. Like you would do it for like.
She's definitely not hittable, man. I'll give her like a 2.
Hey, yo. He said she's definitely not hittable.
Yeah, and the only reason why I'm saying that is because her personality is ugly, with your aesthetics being that way, and then your attitude, like you're not attractive.
All right, so let's just go. All right. Well, yeah, her rating as far as her personality is all the way sucky. We get that, but just aesthetically, right? Let's just say you saw a picture of her, or you was looking at her from across the club, right? You at a little local bar, you desperate to get a takedown. I don't want to put desperate on you, but you like, you know what I mean? You would really love to take something down tonight. Is it impossible? Let's just say she had a pleasant attitude. Is it impossible?
No, it's not happening, bro. She's not. That's not a chick. That's not a chick you gonna approach at a bar, fam. Like she not. Yo, no, nigga. You
You said
know,
you said.
for her to even come
Hey
off with those
yo,
standards
she's
like
not
that
even
is
hittable.
crazy. Nah,
He said
nigga,
she's not
nah,
even hittable.
not at all,
Hey,
bro.
Naomi, what up? What up? I'm about to drag you in. You ready? Naomi, where you go? I had you. You went in the green room. I think that's what's happening, Naomi. You went in the green room. Don't go in the green room. I didn't put you in the green room. You ended up in the green room somehow. Yeah, you could come back out. There you go. Now you here. I got you. I'm bringing you in. You ready? You ready? All right, let me get a mic check from you. You're muted. Still muted. I think you got to authorize it on your phone for the mic. Come on, Naomi. You can't do it? It says you still. All right, let me try to bring you on and see if it'll let you do it then. All right, so I see you here.
Oh my God.
There you go. Naomi, what up?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you well. I'm going to try to bring Homeboy back on too, if I can.
No, I'm still here. I'm still here.
You in the? I think you in the green room though. I don't see you on the. Wait, are you still there? Hold up.
Yeah, I'm still here. You can't hear me?
I can hear you well, but I don't know if the audience can hear you. You know what I'm saying? Naomi, you can hear. You can hear, bro.
I can. I actually tried to turn off my camera, but I don't know how to work this.
Oh, you looking good. Don't worry about it. You straight. Don't even worry about it. You are good. Why won't it let me drag him on there too? Oh wait. Okay, there you go. Bang. I think I got them both. But now we both here. Everybody's in the party. Let's get it. All right, Naomi, what you got for this?
Okay, so the only reason I came in was because of the fact that you were saying about how women can't tell other women stuff.
Yeah, that's crazy. Can we discuss this, please?
I mean, okay, so I don't know about other women, but like if I try to tell a woman something like that's wrong with her outfit or and I approach her nice, I'll be like, hey, you know what? Like, hey, sis, like that's a little too revealing. Or if I can see her bra through something, I'll be like, I can see your bra. And she'll be like,
Right.
why are you judging me? But I think, but I'm not the kind of woman who like wears stuff like that, like, but even something simpler, like if I could see her slit, like hanging at the bottom, I'll be like, hey, you need to go fix that. Maybe pull your slip up or a little something or something like that.
Right. Oh
Yeah.
man. Yeah. Okay. And so they get highly
There was a
offended.
woman one time.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
there was a woman one time. She had like her skirt like tucked into like her underwear, and I went behind like beside her, and I was like, "Oh, you got to pull your skirt out," and she was like, "It's supposed to be like that," and I was like, "Okay."
Oh,
You could see like all her
damn.
leg and everything. It was I don't know.
Do
I
you
don't
think she was
know,
more
like,
embarrassed at the fact that you caught it and was going to tell her, and she tried to like, yeah, it's supposed to be like that, or you think she really meant to do that?
I don't know. I think maybe she was embarrassed.
That's crazy. So you can't even talk to women like that. That is crazy. Do you understand what I was saying about the point of women, it being impossible for women to improve when you have this type of mentality where fellow women can't even correct you?
I do. I think that's dangerous for women
Right.
because I think women have gotten to such a way of like being competitive with each other.
Yep. Damn. That is sad. Rush, what you got on that, bro?
As far as what
Women
like
not being able to correct each other.
um it's not that they don't want to correct each other. They pretty much just what's the word I'm looking for? Like they kind of like uh they lie to their friends. Like let's say for example, right? If they're all going out right to a certain club or an event, right, and there's going to be certain caliber of dudes out there, and the friend will see her in an outfit that makes her kind of look overweight. She'll lie to that particular friend and tell her that she looks great, but really she looks horrible. Women tend to lie to each other, even when they're at their worst, you know. So there's no form of, of them, giving them constructive criticism in order for them to edify themselves, if that makes
So
sense.
it does, but check this out. If you put that together with what Naomi just said, when she was in the comments, she said that she's actually tried to tell women and have corrected them, and they would basically say she was hating. You know what I'm saying? Like they would be like, "Oh, like she's fixed a woman's skirt, and she said it was supposed to be like that, right?" If she tells someone they haven't noted, they like, I don't know what they say when you tell them that, but pretty much everything is a rejection. Like they not trying to hear it. So after a while, in order to keep friends, you realize that women can't take constructive criticism, so you don't offer it. And I think that explains a lot. That explains, one, why women aren't willing to improve. Two, why they don't take constructive criticism from men, because they feel like we're demons at that point for even going ahead and talking to them like that. Go ahead. You have some?
I don't
Go ahead.
think women don't take constructive criticism from men because they just think that you guys are all bad.
Well, particularly if women can't offer it, because you said you try, but women can't offer it. So when it comes from us, it seems like we're mean, because women had reinforced the fact that they were tens and that they were good looking even when they weren't, or smelled great even when they didn't, or wore something that was too revealing and was told that it was fine, right? So you wouldn't upset them. It makes us look mean. It makes us look like we're extra, and everybody has already told me that this looks good. So why are you telling me that this is bad? Everybody else told me that you're going to get men anyway. Why are you telling me that I'm out of shape like that? Why are you telling me that I got 3 tummies like I'm not a human in the cow? You know what I'm saying? Like, what we doing? Like, so do you understand where the correlation is and how I'm trying to put it together?
So here's the thing. I think women don't listen to men just because women don't want to listen to men anymore. Like in
Oh,
2026, women just don't want to listen to men. They're just
damn.
rebellious, in my opinion. They just
What, where,
rebellious. They
where do you
fight.
think we've lost our value?
I don't think men have lost their value at all. I
Really?
think women are delusional.
Well, okay. Well, what I normally say in these instances, I say perceived value. So then I would ask you, where do you think we've lost our perceived value as men?
Mm, I don't really understand that, to be
Well,
honest.
all right. So, all right. No, I'll give it to you. So it's like this. Men, we feel like we are valuable creatures, right? We are virtually the same as we've always been. We haven't made much changes, right? Most of us are pretty solid dudes. Most of us are caring, loving, hardworking, and there's always been the same amount of average men as there ever was, right? There's always been the bell curve. We've always been average. So what I'm saying is, women today, like you notice, there's a difference in 2026. They don't want to listen to us anymore. So they don't value our opinions anymore. They don't value us as men anymore. So it doesn't mean that we are less valuable, but we've lost our perceived value, meaning that the way women look at us is as less valuable. So what I'm
Well,
asking you is,
can I interject?
yeah, yeah. Right after, right after. I just want to get her to answer this one. Then it's on you. I want to know
Okay.
why you think we've lost our perceived value. Why do women think we are less than what we used to be?
So if I, so just so that I can understand, what you're asking is, because men have basically still been like the same. Like their
Right.
value has been the same. The average man has still been the same. They've been constant.
Right.
I would actually agree with you with that. The only thing is though the fact that women's mindset has changed.
Right.
I think
Okay.
modern day feminism has added to it, to where now women have this belief that they um, want to be men and that they can be men. And so I think where the perceived value has kind of gone down is that it's all comes down to finances and income, to be quite honest. There are a lot more women in today's society that are um, chasing the bag, and they think that that's okay, and some of them are even making as much or even more than men. And to add a little bit on to that is that even as a single mom, she can make just as much as a man can, if not more, for free. There are different programs that the government offers once you have children, to help pay for schooling, and they pay
Subsidize that
for.
man. Yep.
Yep. And so
You're right.
it actually takes the man out of the picture. And so women don't realize that the man still has value until they're older in age, and then they no longer have those children, and they're at home cuddling their, body pillows, wondering why they're still cold.
All right, it's on you, bro. Go ahead, Rush.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have to factor in the leftist feminist movement, social media, and the surplus of suckers and simps. Now, with this combination, this creates a delusional group of people, such as women, because a lot of women, they really overvalue themselves because of social media and the surplus of suckers and simps that wants to use them as cum dumpsters, and
Ooh.
that ripple effect caused women to have the delusion that they're better than the average man. That's why a lot of women will overlook the average guy that has a regular job or that looks mid, because that female believes that she is above this individual. And this is the cause of the social media, leftist feminist movement, and the surplus of suckers and simps that want to use these quote unquote boss babes as cum dumpsters, and I'm here to tell y'all, man, hey man, it's only a matter of time before a lot of these suckers and simps wake up, and you'll face the harsh reality of being regular.
Naomi, go ahead. I think you had something. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, all I got is, so I put it in the chat. I was like, statistically, it's been proven that women ignore 80% of the men that they pass on a
Right.
day-to-day basis.
Yeah. I did a
So,
whole thing on that a little earlier. But yeah, go ahead and run it back for the people who might have missed it.
so if you take that into account as well, is that a woman will actually pass. A woman is 4 times more likely to pass a good average man on a day-to-day basis, only compared to where she's at, like her mindset.
Right.
And so that's unfortunate. And I
Right.
think
So
women kind of those out of good relationships.
real talk, and I'm gonna break this down elementary style. Right. Let's say you got
Yo, Smooth,
five.
Smooth. Let me say this real quick. I predict in a couple of years that a lot of these suckers and simps that approach these quote unquote boss babes and average looking women, that's gonna come to an end, because these women are so arrogant and self-centered to the point that you can't ignore it no more.
No, I don't think you're incorrect. I'm gonna try to illustrate this elementary style real quick. Let's say you got 5 women and 5 men, right? Now, out of these 5 women you got on this side, you got 5 women right here. They only like the one guy, right? Or 80% of them. So one of the girls will like the rest of the guys. That's this one girl will like these 4 guys, right? And then these 4 women, which is 80%, they all want this one. So when you think about that, it just makes it really crazy. I went over a stat for the doom scrolling dating apps, the big dogs too. I'm talking Tinder, Hinge, Match, all of that. 4 to 5, like if a dude swipes 140 times, he's likely to have one swipe back. He'll get one match after 140 swipes. So just imagine, especially if you're trying to go through profiles, it's not even practical. So you basically have to look. If they look good, swipe. If they look good, swipe. If they look good, swipe. And then women are getting bombarded because first off, the ratio is, 3 to 1 or 4 to 1. So it's a sausage fest to begin with. And now women are extremely picky. And if you don't have excellent pictures, you don't stand a chance in that piece. You hit all the way. So it is what it is. I don't know what to make of it, but I'm going to say this. I think that Rush is on to something right now. there is going to be a correction. I have a major video dropping at some point that's going to address all of this. There is a major correction going to happen just simply because of the women are going to, that the things that they're doing will be subsidized. A lot of the inside cushy jobs are being replaced by AI. Even the, we'll call it the love industry, right? Like the OF and stuff like that. That's already being replaced by AI. That's already being replaced by AI. The VR headsets have got some madness. The love dolls are ridiculous.
I call that the sex worker Hunger
We on
Games,
TikTok
man.
too. We on TikTok too.
Oh, my bad. I forgot. My bad.
Yeah.
But
No, you good. You continue.
yeah. Well, let me just say this about these apps, like these tenders and all that. Like those particular apps are designed for women to have their way. Like the stats show that dudes definitely don't get no play off of those apps. Not anymore. And
It's tough. You can, but it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, I mean, if your pen game on point, you could slide at some of them cum dumpsters. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, those apps is designed for them to have the upper hand within the dating market. And hey, man, the wall's undefeated, man, and these infinite amount of suckers and simps that's out here chasing these mid chicks and want to use them just for cum dumpstering. It's gonna come to an end, man. You know what I mean? Especially when they drop these androids that's humanoid that allow men
you're talking about Ari. That's one. Ari is the one. It's Realbotics is the company that makes it. They make Ari, and they make there's another
y'all cook, man. Word is born.
I got a whole video dropping on that. Yeah. They I did a stream on that, man, talking about, you know what I mean, you know what I mean? That's a real
man, these chicks is gonna be cooked, man. Word is born, man. You know what I mean?
I truly believe they're gonna be cooked. But what's that gonna do to society, right? As a whole? That's going to be crazy because and I think that our generation probably can't do it. Naomi, I'm not sure how old you are, but probably not your generation either. I'm Gen X. I don't think you're Gen X. You're not Gen
39.
X.
No.
Yeah, you're millennial.
I'm an older millennial.
So yeah, okay.
You know
All
what?
right.
So I disapprove of that because I was voted into Gen X by some other Gen Xers. So that
nah, you can't. You ain't one of us. Nah, but I think that a lot of millennials are not. They're probably the first generation that's going to take. Not you, but more so going down a ladder to more the younger ones because, for one, they grew up with internet. It was a reality. I've seen every phase of it, from dial-up where you hear the noises and 56K was a big deal. 56K was a big deal.
I had a beeper too. What are you talking about?
Yeah. I had one of those too. So it's like all of these things are changing, but they like right now, dudes are used to not having to go to get food. I went in on this thing. The mentality is just different. People don't get their driver's licenses like they used to. It went from just about 50% of youth getting it to about 25, nearly half, right? Just about half of kids are now getting their driver's licenses. They don't feel the need. They don't go outside as much. They will grab an Uber and they don't really care. It's more of a liability to them than it is something that would actually aid them in their mind, right? They don't want to get a home a lot of times because they don't know how to do the maintenance or don't want to do the maintenance. They suck at it. So they just say, I'll just rent, right? I'll be a perpetual renter, forget an investment, forget making my money back on this property at some point, and don't really use money the same way. And even though some of them may understand money, they just don't feel like the juice is worth the squeeze. So these people are a little bit different, and they interact on social media a lot, right? A lot of our conversations are on social media, like right now, right? Before, I would have had to fly you all the way to where the hell I'm at to have a convo that people could actually witness, right? Or you'd be just on a call. We could never see your face before, but all you got to do is hit a link now, and then boom, we right here in a conversation. And it's the same thing there. right, in real life, but it's kind of taken away from it. There was a couple things that the vid actually really did it. Social media did it. And if you had, well, I think we're safe to say COVID now. So yeah, COVID actually did a number on us. I've seen the difference in the young kids because them not interacting for like that almost 2-year period ruined the social dynamics. And these are the kids coming up. And a lot of people, they just didn't know. You developed a level of xenophobia, right? So you don't want to even be around people. And I don't think we really, really, really ever came off from that. I'll be outside. I'm one of them guys. So if you go like in the clubs and stuff like that, it looks very different. We used to dance like crazy in my era. Most people now, they're dancing by themselves or girls just dancing with girls. It's weird now. People holding up the walls.
The night scene is dead. You know, nobody,
Yeah.
like most dudes don't go out no more. They prefer to save their money, man. You know, things is definitely changing, man. It's not the same. Like how we grew up, you know, the cold approaching, you know, having a certain level.
Yo, I used to do minimal 10 cold approaches a day, every day. So
those days is over, man. You know.
Yeah. Yo, I don't even know if my homeboy want me to put the story out there, right? But he approached the joint in a. I'm not gonna say what kind. It was a restaurant. He told me the story. I laughed my ass off, and then he didn't say nothing that was crazy. He just was like, "Yo, you know," he said, "Hey," he introduced himself. You know, I thought you were beautiful. I think, you know, I want to take you out. You know what she did? Weirdo, like screaming that like an alarm or some shit. I'm like, yo. What is wrong with
crazy.
you?
The power of Christ compels you.
What are we doing? So, and then on the other hand, we have women complaining about, why aren't men approaching me? Because your peers are crazy. She's not even understanding that she is the actual weirdo in this particular instance. A lot of people don't understand that. I don't even know. I mean, how do you even respond to that? After that, you know how embarrassing that is? There's people there. She's just doing that. You're like, oh my God, she's creating a scene. Like, what are we doing?
I'm telling you, women are crazy. That's why I only have like 3 women friends. Like for real, I only have like 3 women friends that I can go out with. Because if not, then so here's the thing: when I step out, I'm not stepping out looking some sort of way. I'm not stepping out looking all like slutty and stuff. Like I'm not doing that.
That's not just these. Okay.
No, that in no way, shape, or form. You know, maybe like a pencil skirt and a blouse, or like if even just on regular casual wear, jeans and a hoodie. You know, type of thing. No, I don't step out like that. So the women that I have around me, we also don't step out like that either. If we're going out together, and we're gonna look, we gotta look presentable, like at a nicer restaurant. Mm-hmm. We not dressed in some sort of way to catch some type of attention in a negative manner. That's why I'm careful. Like if I'm gonna step out with somebody, like somebody new to hang out with or something, I'll be in like jeans and a t-shirt, and then depending on how she is and where we're going, and what she looks like, I don't want to be with somebody like that in public. Cause like what she's wearing, people will probably think, a man will look at us and think that maybe I usually dress like that too, or I'm co-signing to it. And that's the thing. Like I'm not co-signing none of it. Like that's not me.
Yeah, let me just say this, man. My bad. Could I just say this real quick?
No. Go ahead. Get your point off. You good?
Yeah, like you know, I did a breakdown on my stream, right? I was breaking down different tiers of birds. You know what I mean? You got a regular bird, you got a pigeon, you got a regular bird, you got a blue jay, pigeon, a vulture, bald eagle, and a pterodactyl, right? A lot of these chicks are pterodactyls, man. You know what I mean? Straight up pro. When you look at the stats, right? The stats show on the amount of OnlyFans content creators is up by 70%. You know what I mean? from the age of
Sheesh.
18 to 25. So your average chick nowadays is a pro, man. Straight up pterodactyl, man. Word is born, man. Gotta watch out for these bros out here, man. You know what I mean? We
Yeah,
cooked out
that.
here, man.
Oh my God! Anybody want to jump? We'll probably be on for a little bit more. Nothing crazy, but if anybody wants to jump in, just go to my YouTube or Instagram link. Apparently, it's removed from the TikTok somehow because they put a lemonade in there. How did you find the link, Naomi? You had to go to my Instagram or something?
No, it was actually in your profile.
It was in my profile, in my TikTok
Yeah.
profile. Okay, so the link is in my TikTok profile. Okay, good. Yeah, go ahead and find it. Just tap the link and it will let you in. If anybody else wants to jump into the discussion, I could throw at least 8 more people if I wanted to. We're not going to go crazy like that. I like kind of small panels because everybody could get this shit off. Now, what I did want to say is we talked a lot of doom and gloom, right? We did. We really did. What could we do for this next generation coming up to come up with some type of solutions? What do we think are some viable options that could encourage these women? I know it looks really bad, right? And maybe we can't fix it, but if we could, what would be the best tactics to try to, what are you doing? What are you telling your daughters? What are we trying to do to make sure that we can reconnect what's going on between men and women?
So
Yeah, go ahead. My bad.
you can go. It's okay.
No, no, no. No, go ahead. You was about to speak. Go ahead.
Ladies first, you got it, Naomi.
Okay. So for me, I kind of get a lot of pushback, but I'm raising my daughters to be wives. So, um, fit, feminine, friendly. Actually, fit, friendly, and then feminine. Femininity is like something that's very, it's not only about like having your nails done and your hair and stuff like that and what you look like. It's about your demeanor, how you approach, how you speak, things like that. And then I have all of us like in the gym and things like that. I'm Puerto Rican and so are my kids. So we're working on it all together with the attitude. um, but I'm teaching my daughters to be wives, and to not to emasculate men, things like that, because they have brothers.
Oh, wow.
You know,
See, listen, you know what?
and
We've
so
been talking about this. I know you know on the P Network, we've been talking about this a lot, where women generally aren't taught how to treat women. Women are taught, or young girls are taught, what not to tolerate from a man and what to expect from a man, but they are never taught on how to treat a man, and that is valid. Shout to you for that one. You definitely got to get the ultra combo.
well,
No,
so
that's for real.
like well, on the flip side of that as well, I'm teaching my sons on what not to tolerate from women. Even as far as like young girls, because some young girls today are like, so I taught my sons how to, restrain someone and, safely back away from a situation. I have a 16-year-old son, and a girl he told her, he was like, yeah, you're not, she tried to come up to him and, with her little group of friends, and she tried to like ask him out or something. And then he was like, yeah, I'm not into you. And he turned around and tried to walk away from her. And she hit him over the head with a Chromebook.
Damn.
Yeah.
What?
And then, yes.
They getting violent now? Come on now, what we doing?
These girls, some of these young girls are crazy. Like, they think that they can like put their hands on boys and that they're not supposed to.
And no
put their hands
consequences.
No
Yeah,
consequences.
that's a dangerous
So-
thing, because a lot of these dudes aren't taught how to treat ladies. So that is crazy. But it's extremely
So-
encouraging to hear you say that you were actually investing in your children. So shout to you for that, for real. That's
Perfect.
That's awesome. I am
What's-
absolutely doing the same. Go ahead.
It's not only about like, so my daughters, but it's also about my sons. Like, I don't want
Yes.
my sons to tolerate a lot of things that I see from women. I see a lot of men who do tolerate things like that. And I don't want that for my sons. So I'm teaching them how not to tolerate certain things, because at the end of the day, like, one of these days I'm not going to be here. That's guaranteed.
Yeah.
So that's something that I have to help him along the way as well. And then he has, my kids, they have mentors in their life to help teach them and navigate and things like that as well.
Right. Exactly. Nah, man. Is that kind of encouraging, Rush? Are you kind of feeling all fuzzy inside hearing that, or what?
No, I mean, yeah, I mean, I wish there was more people like her that has that kind of mentality, but in reality most women don't have that kind of mentality. You know, they're influenced by the leftist feminist movement. You know, a lot of these women are, you know, inspired by, you know, the Cardi B's and Megan Thee Stallion.
Right.
You know, I mean, you know, there's a lot of negative influence that not only move the females in a negative light but also males too. You know, for the solution, which is probably not going to happen because, you know, we at the last hour. You know what I mean? So, you know, get rid of the, you know, the negative influence through the music. Get rid of the leftist feminist movement. Um, to make sure to, you know, raise young productive adults to society. Homeschooling, man, you can't trust these public schools no more, man. It's something different, man. You know, bring back religion within to our social construct. We have, you know, us as Americans, we definitely have divest from, you know, the divine order. So, you know, like, man, yo, man, we living in dark times, man. You know, from when I was growing up and, you know, in today's day and age now, yo, things are completely different. But these are all signs, man. You know, it's all signs that the king is coming, man. Know what I mean? And
All
yo,
right.
I mean, just be prepared when you come back. You heard?
So I say this. The only point that I would say, I beg to differ on is the public school thing, right? I got my kids in public school, and homeschooling is very taxing, and a lot of parents don't have the wherewithal to be able to homeschool their children. The curriculum is solid, depending on what tax bracket you're in, right? So not all of us are equipped for that. And that's a fact, right? Because those of us the baby boomers were like the
But that
first selfish generation. They were extremely
to make,
selfish. So we're
to
already
make a
like
difference,
more.
that's what it probably would take. You know.
Well, we're like 3 generations past that. So I say this: although I send my children to public school, I've schooled them on what matters, morality. I've taught them about, you know, substance abuse and how not to. I'm trying to use words that are safe. To not indulge in that. I've taught them about the birds and the bees earlier than I would have wanted to, just so the children in their school wouldn't introduce it to them. Because I was introduced to a lot of that stuff very early, way before my parents decided they were going to do that, and I don't remember them doing that. So I had a lot of correcting to do, right? Somehow at some point the light came on. They did lead by good example, which was I can't take that away from at all. But as far as articulating, no. So I've seen some things. I was exposed to corn very early and did not have the proper context, right? That's probably going to make you objectify women, reinforced with your peers' thoughts, which are usually negative, to encourage you to misuse women and objectify them. And women objectify men by their utility. So they will objectify, oh, I need you to help me move this. They know they don't want any parts of you. Just like a dude, the friend zone is equivalent to the F zone for men, right? So a dude might put you in the F zone, and you know that's his. No, real talk. That's him friend zoning you almost, right? You just in the F zone. The women will objectify men by saying are using his utility, whether it be his time, resources, boyfriend energy, or anything else that she may deem valuable without producing anything, right? That's women and men both are abusing each other. We see each other as objects. We objectify each other all the time. And being that we're in such a selfish generation, self-absorbed, narcissistic, whatever you want to call it, all of the above, we don't have the know-how or empathy to care for others. We are all the main character. Everyone has main character syndrome, right? Everybody else is an NPC, but I am the main character. So everything needs to go right for me and forget everybody else. And many of us think like that. More and more people are becoming self-absorbed. And I think that that's one of the major issues, is people not having perspective. Perspective is one of my favorite words. It's something that we need to have. Perspective and balance. I don't think we have either of those in today's society, unfortunately. If we were able to gain perspective, then we would understand how to treat people and be able to put ourselves into someone else's shoes and actually exhibit empathy to say, look, you know what? Damn, how would this feel if somebody tried that on me? Damn. I know I'm not offering anything. I know what this person is actually seeking, but I'm just going to get what I want. I need to extract what I need and forget them. You got it, Naomi.
All right. So I think that kind of adds into that, like, modern day woman's mindset of make sure that you can get the bag type of thing. That's what I hear a lot of women say.
Get the bag.
I don't. Yeah, they'll say, like, get the bag. And at first I didn't know what that mean. I was like, why are you trying to take somebody's bags? And then they explained it to me that it was like try to get as much money from a man, as possible. And so that first came
That's what they're
when I
taught.
was yeah. And so I was just like, okay, why would you, that doesn't make sense to me, because for one, that's not really like how I was raised, and that's not anything like, it didn't make sense to me. Like, I didn't understand it. And but now, like, that's something that they saying. Everybody's saying that, something along those lines. And I think it's like a fear of survival, so to speak, if that
Yeah,
makes
we're in
sense.
survival mode.
And
Yes. And
and
yes.
and greed
Yeah.
to a whole nother level and degree.
I think we worship
And
money now.
I think a lot of people do, unfortunately. Nobody's content anymore. Nobody is content with just, having a house and having food and cooking, like, is something that's not really valued anymore. Not the way that it used to be,
No, not at all.
like with
Not at all.
like with my kids, whenever they have like friends over at our house and stuff, I'll be cooking or something, and I can't tell you how many of my kids' friends that I've taught how to cook or add stuff to it, or they've watched me cook and stuff. And I'll be sitting there. This week because my son, one of my boys, he boxes, and my other
Oh,
son, he
nice.
plays football and stuff. And so my daughter, she's on a wrestling team. But they'll come over and they'll be so surprised that I'll be cooking, and I'll say, well, what does your mom cook? And they'll be like, she doesn't. She door dashes or stuff like that. And so I try to
That's
teach them
crazy.
cook
Damn.
things as well. And it's I don't want to say like it's weird, but it's disheartening to me
Yeah.
because I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe it's just because like where we live and stuff like that, but it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And so my kids though, and so I've taught my kids how to cook. My daughters how to cook, read recipes, things like that. And then my boys, they know how to cook and feed themselves too, until they meet their wives, and so she can be at least have some, know some cooking for when, she wants to get married and things like that, when she's chosen as a wife. So I don't know.
No, real
But I
talk.
think
No,
a lot
that
of
real
comes
talk.
from.
That's real. If you got something on that, Rush, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised that a lot of these women do, the door dashes and all that. It's very rare to find a female that's able to actually cook nowadays. And like, hey man, we're living in a transactional era, man. Like everything is like, yo, what can I get out this person?
Right.
The moral compass is out the window. They don't look for character anymore. Everything's based on aesthetics and finances, man. I mean, yo, man, it's like, yo, like I said, man, a lot of these birds are pterodactyls, man, and that's the highest tier of a bird that you can become. A straight up pro, man. Word is born,
The-
man. And ain't
Nah, it's a shame.
like, yo, yeah, man, it is what it is, man. The whole thought process of having nuclear family, those days are over, man. A lot of
Um,
these men are waking up, you know, And like I said before, man, yo, it's gonna get so bad to the point, yo. There's a prophecy within the scriptures that breaks this down too. Like, it's gonna be a point where it's gonna be like 100 women, choosing for one dude. You know what I mean? So all you birds out there that's ignoring the regular dude, man, you gonna be desperate, man. Word is born, man. I said it first on Trev Smooth Joint, you heard?
So I strongly feel like there's going to be a correction. I can't tell you just yet what that's going to look like, but I think you're absolutely onto something, Rush, with that. There is going to be a correction. Society is going to have a correction. The pendulum will swing the other way. We are already under the process of what was an overcorrection.
That correction you're talking about. You're talking about natural order, man. You know what I mean?
Yes.
When
yes.
World War III transpired, man, what you think is gonna happen? Know what I mean? Ain't gonna be no food out here.
If we get World War III, which looks like I never thought would happen because of mutual destruction, but with what it looks like right now, it looks like there's a potential for that, a stronger potential than there ever has been. If you're looking at like the news and you watch what's going on in Iran right now,
you saw what Trump just did in Venezuela, right?
Yeah, sure
Who
did.
does Venezuela have a good relationship right now? They mad cool with Russia and China.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Eventually,
the BRICS nation, pretty much, and he wants to break that up.
Yeah, eventually, I mean, they're gonna come on this land. They're gonna bang on us, and when that happens, man, I mean, yo,
well,
like I said before,
I'm gonna tell you this. This would be the most stupid place to ever try to infiltrate on land, because there's more arms than there are people. There's more than 400 million arms in the hands of the people. I have 5 myself, right? So,
yeah, like, I'm gripped up too. I got a nice collection at the house, but here's what I got to say. Here's what I got to say, man. Eventually, America's gonna fall, man. It was written, man.
Well, it's possible. So you still could be onto something, bro, because I think that's just a horrible technique. They could throw something this way, right? They have supersonic missiles and stuff like that now, so they could try something like that if that's what they were trying to do. There's different ways that they could accomplish their goals. There's cyber attacks, which I think I'm not going to mention the incident. Please don't mention the incident, but I truly believe that we had a cyber attack earlier this week, right? I do believe we had a cyber attack earlier this week. So there's the potential for a lot of things. They could attack the grid. If someone gets a hold of how to make our oil prices go crazy, that wrecks everything. Certain things that we just can't do. If the electrical grid has been hacked, certain ones have been hacked before, electric cars are gone immediately, all of them, right? Secondly, we won't be able to get gas. We won't be able to power anything. People don't understand. Cell phones are done. Like, you will last for like 2 weeks. People will buy up all the generators, and then people who don't have it, they decide that they want to steal, and we'll pretty much cannibalize each other. That's just what it'll be. So
let me just say this: when that happens, you see what's going on in Haiti, right? The whole world gonna be like Haiti, fam. I'm telling you, man. Once this war breaks out, man, nobody's safe, man. Everybody cooked. So all you chicks out there, you better lock down a good dude that's thorough, man. You know what I mean? Because you might not be able to survive. No, not might. You will not be able to survive.
There's no way. That's phase 2 is where anyone who's weak or vulnerable loses safety. That includes the weak men. Right, because once rations are low, the people who no one has it, right? Because simple things that we take for granted, like milk, eggs, poultry, you don't have it. There ain't no fresh bread. Nobody's making nothing. If currency goes down, there's so many things.
So what you think is going to happen? What you think is going to happen when that happens, man?
Pillaging, to say the least. Yes. Right? To keep it safe. Pillaging.
It's going to be like. Let me say what's gonna happen, yo. After everything's, after the, everything's a wasteland, the gangs is gonna take over, man. Word is
Oh yeah,
born.
yeah, yeah.
Remember, I
People.
said it first. I said it
Uh,
first. I said it first. Don't touch smooth joint, man. Y'all be so if
you
you a
should have
bird
showed your
out there,
face for
man,
that one, man, so they could
you
have seen who was coming from. Pause. It's we know it's Rush, but you should have showed your face for that one so they could see you when you got this prediction. And I'm on the same page. It looks grim. It's a scary thing. But all I'm going to say is that enjoy it while you can, and hopefully it won't happen in your lifetime. Right? That's all we can
nah,
say.
man, it's happening soon, man. The
It
7 year
can.
tribulation is gonna take. You know what I mean, it's gonna happen in our life. We gonna live to see it, man. If you left behind, know what I mean, the
Damn.
king coming, man.
Well,
Word
the
is
beauty of
born,
it
man.
is, the people who are CEOs or plastic surgeons or things like that will have no use, right? The people who know how to build, the people who know how to defend, the people who know how to ravish are going to survive. Unfortunately, right? That's just what it's looking like. So, or the people who are attached to them, whatever that value that you have. If you're attached to somebody who's who knows what it is, then you're good. But the potential's there, right? But if not, then all I would say, what we do know for sure is it's going to get a little bit worse before it gets better. At the very least, it's going to get a little worse than before it gets better, right? We do see what
Nah,
AI
man,
is
y'all
doing
have
to
no
jobs.
idea what's coming,
No,
man. Y'all have no idea
well,
what's coming. You know
so
what I
so
mean?
rush, so rush, so rush.
Yeah.
I'm abreast with your scenario, right? Which is worst case. I'm very familiar with that, and I realize how much of a possibility that is. But there's like 3 different scenarios that we could be faced with. There's a couple of things that could happen, and once you start to understand that there's not the people who look like they're running the world aren't the ones, and there's a balance. Even though people look like they make independent moves, they never do. It's always green lighted first. If it's not green lighted, then you don't see that person anymore. It's as simple as that. So a lot of these people who we think are making decisions or are hot headed and any of that stuff, they're not even the dudes who are pulling the strings. The people who are actually pulling the strings are invisible. So there's a lot going on. There's certain things that will happen. I think that some people will be
I mean,
affected. There's a bigger
what you
plan.
talking about? What you're expounding on right now? You're talking about something deeper than that. Now, man. Now, I don't
Yeah.
want to. Like, I mean, if
Yeah,
you
yeah,
want to
yeah,
go
yeah,
there,
yeah.
we
We
can
got to be
go there.
careful how
But
we got to teeter totter
yeah,
over it, right?
right,
For these
right.
particular platforms, we not. Yeah, but you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is that I think there's a bigger plan going on. I think that some people are designed to not do well at this time, right? And some people are designed to do well at this time, right? What you want to do is be on the right side of that when the smoke clears. Because again, Harash, I know you're right on this. Something's a brewing. Something's a brewing. But I don't think it's going to be the end all be all. I don't think that we're going to be like Walking Dead out here. I don't think so. I don't think it's going to go that deep. I think it's going to get bad, but I don't think it's going to go that deep right now. I really don't. Only because I've done enough digging in pause, and I think you did too, to know who's really in charge, and probably won't let that go down. Go ahead, go ahead. You got it.
All right, so to be completely honest, we're already seeing the pendulum swing the other way.
Right,
With the if you look at the younger generation, they're not really looking for relationships, no matter how much tell women, you tell them, like, encourage them, hey, keep your legs closed, this, that, whatever. But younger men are not tolerating a lot of things from younger women. And we're already seeing that pendulum swing back the other way, because I think it started with the millennials, like my generation, unfortunately. It
damn.
started with us. It started with us, with women being that boss babe mindset. And so, but we're seeing that a lot of women who encourage their daughters to have that boss babe mindset, they're
Right,
now alone. They're now in their,
right, right.
50s and 60s,
They
and they
feeling it
are
now.
alone. They feeling it. And so now they're now women who are they're in the millennials type of thing. They're like, yeah, I can't. They're switching it up. Like, hey, you know what? Focus on your education, but then also, oh, there's one of my kids.
Right.
focus on your education, but then also switch it back.
Right.
Um, and now with the younger kids, that's where that swing is coming back from. Now
Right.
they're, they don't want to be alone. I don't want to be alone by myself the way that you are, type of thing. And the only thing that we could do is really, if we really, really start focusing on the teenagers and the kids, then we
Right.
can start to reset everything.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, um that's not something that we're seeing at first, but we are seeing the
Okay.
pendulum swing back the other way, because this is probably going to sound bad, but birth rates are down. But now with what's happening with AB and things like that, they're starting to become more of an accountability. And I think, and this is going to sound really bad, but I think a lot of women they've gotten in their head they have too many rights. And it's going to swing so far back, unfortunately, that it's going to be to, I hope that it doesn't get this way, but it's going to get to a back to where we had no rights, no autonomy, no say in certain things, because there's such a lack of
Ooh.
accountability. And a lot of men are tired of it. A lot of men are
Wow.
tired of it. And a lot of women are not understanding that men truly rule, men run this world. It's built on the backs of men. And I believe in it more from a biblical aspect. So I believe in God. I don't know about anybody else, but I believe in God. So I also believe in the hierarchy of God, man, woman, child, and then everyone
Okay.
else.
No, real talk.
Unfortunately, a lot of women believe that it's God, woman, man, child. And that's not the way it's supposed to be. But men are getting to a point now to where they're not tolerating a lot of things. And so we're even seeing the pendulum swing back so far that even in some states that used to be more mothered favored states, they're no longer like that. And now it's more a man can go to court and have full custody of his child, where the mother has to pay child support. Now, men don't really connect from women, but we're seeing a switch, and we've seen the switch more just within the last 10 years, especially in states like Texas, states like
Kentucky,
Arizona,
Arkansas,
Kentucky.
Florida.
Yep, we're
Mostly
seeing
red states,
Florida.
wildly
Correct.
enough, right?
Mostly red states, but we're seeing that switch more, that even in the state of like up here in the Midwest where I'm at, like Iowa, Illinois, depending on it. In some states, it's still,
Illinois?
yeah, depending on. So I personally know a couple of, like, I've seen more and more men, but there's different organizations out here. Also in like on the east side, the northeast side, where they're seeing that switch where it's flipping, and as it begins flipping more and more, that's where that swing is and I think it's gonna be a huge swing to where women are gonna have to, like, all of our rights are gonna be taken to a point to where women are gonna have that we saw one of the biggest things hit whenever there was no food stamps for like a month and a half. So many women were so nice to men, and none of them were biting back. I'm so for real. If you
That is crazy. Now all of a sudden, you want to do that?
Everybody's nice. No, but if you go back and look at the data, like just look at TikTok during that time on social media. I'm going to video on social media. So many women were on social media saying how they were off of social media because they had to take care of their man more in the evening time than what there ever was. If you go back and look at live, yeah, you have to go back and look at the data.
Now y'all want to be nice. Too late. Too late.
but that's the thing. So when something like that happens, you know that you know. So that tells me that women know what they're supposed to be doing. They just don't want to. But as we're seeing these things take place, they're going to be forced to. So this pendulum is already swinging back. Except unfortunately, some women are going to be caught in that too. And, that's a hit. So that's a hit I'm willing to take. As a single mom, that's a hit I'm willing to take if it's going to set things right for my sons. Because I know that I don't want my sons choosing from women in today's society.
Damn.
And I know my daughters will be good because my daughters, I'm teaching them right.
Right. And that's all you can really ask for. So I get it. I get it. So check this out. Great convo, guys. I want to give y'all an opportunity for final thoughts. Focus on whatever of of the topics we covered today, and let us know what your final thoughts are before I close this out. Who first? Rush, you up?
Yeah, sure. Yo, man. I mean, yo, we're at a point there's no return, so I'll just say this.
Damn.
Yo, the king coming, man. Be on fire when the king come back, man, and stay sucker free. I'll catch you in the flesh, Smooth. I'm out. One.
All right, brother. Take it easy, man. Yeah, Naomi is on you. It is on you, Naomi.
I don't really know what to say. This is
You don't know
actually
what
really
to
cool.
say?
I've never seen you on live before.
I haven't been doing a lot of lives. That's why my numbers was kind of trash, Laura. But it's gonna do it because I'm gonna have some good shows, and particularly on TikTok. There's not a lot of people in our space doing it in this way, right? Because it takes a lot to do it. TikTok just released a feature where you could do your TikTok Studio. They released it for Mac. It was only for PC until about a month ago, and I could have did it through OBS. I was able to do it vertically in another way from what I was doing, which we won't even talk about because it was kind of I had to do some crazy stuff to get it to work. If I wasn't into IT, I would have never got it to work. So, but we got it over here, and I think did it come out relatively clear on the live?
It was actually coming out really clear on the TikTok, and it was really easy to find the link too.
Oh, it was? Okay. Yeah. I have to see because
you have to go into your link tree. That's all.
Oh, right in the link tree. Yeah, I should have said that.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to. Well, I hope that people can figure that out because one says Instagram, the other says Linktree. So,
boom, hit the
I
link
guess
tree.
common sense isn't common.
Hey, well, nah, but I'm gonna be doing this more. I'm trying to figure out if Friday nights or Saturday nights are better. You have a perfect perspective, particularly for a woman. No offense, because you be sitting there having to trash half the ladies that come up on there anyway. So you know what I mean when I say that.
So, I catch a lot of heat on TikTok though. So a lot of people are like, I don't. So I used to have. So my account that I'm at right now is my account. I think this account is like at 35K, 30.
Oh, nice. On TikTok.
Yeah, but it's not that much. So I used to have another account that was like at 83K, but then I called a woman a Barracks Bunny community project, so they took that from me.
For real? Oh, they took it?
Yeah, she deserved it though. She deserved it 100%.
Oh wow, that's crazy. That's crazy.
But so now I'm building
crazy.
I'm building back the account that I had before, but I catch a lot of heat on TikTok. Because I believe in submission, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, well, if you want to be controlled," I was like, "Well, at least I'll be kept," So
wow, you giving it to them. Nah, but that's what's up because that perspective is not so available, right? It's really not. That perspective is like a thing of the past, or for the most part, right? There are some people like yourself who are still holding it down, and to be honest, I don't think you ever felt controlled, right? Being submissive. Aren't you more so? Well, you go ahead and describe it because I don't want to put words in your mouth.
So this is the thing. I thrive in order and structure for myself. I think more women actually do thrive in order and structure as well. They just don't want to admit it. And submission is something that is just so beautiful. It's not about being in control. It's about, and this is probably going to sound really bad, but it's about being in alignment. And you actually have less responsibility the more submissive you are.
Right. And people don't understand that that's the man's reaction.
Like a lot of women don't get it. So the more submissive you are, the less responsibility you have. And here's why. It's because the more submissive you are, and you're pouring into him, and you're speaking life into him, and you're encouraging him, and not weaponizing intimacy, because I think that's one of the things I speak about the most. A lot of women get upset, and I'll tell them, listen, if you weaponize intimacy, you don't really love your life, because that's almost like he can't trust you anymore, because you are not only like, from what I've heard and what I've learned about men is that their wives are not only they're like they're part of them. They're possessive, they're territorial. So once you start withholding something that's his, it's almost like he can't trust you with everything else. Money, the home, doing what you're supposed to be,
I
following
heard. Hold on. I
order.
heard what you just said. Something that's his. I hear you. I hear you. Explain that to people. You said you're withholding something that is his. Go ahead and explain that
Yes.
part.
So I have two versions of this. One is the biblical version. So the word of God tells me that my body isn't mine, it belongs to him. It
Right.
is what it is, type of thing. My body isn't mine, it belongs to him. It saddens me that a lot of women literally see men as monsters, to where they're just going to take something. When I hear hundreds and hundreds of thousands of stories where men have gone like 6 months with no intimacy, yet they're still married, still providing, still paying the bills, still covering everything.
Right.
That to me is crazy. Knowing that a man's testosterone is built on that. Like a man needs that release. Men need that release. And I'm going to be honest with you, I think women need that release too. They just don't want to admit it.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
That's like the biblical aspect of it. Then the other side of it is that me being a wife, if I'm going to look at him and like he's mine, and then I'm his too. This isn't a one-sided type of situation. This isn't like something that I'm just going to, I feel that's very selfish. I think women today's time are very selfish. I think like I get a lot of pushback because I'm single. So they're like, you don't understand. And I try to tell them like, well, I do understand because
No,
Sorry, my
I can
bad.
see why.
Oh.
No, you're good. I
Oh.
see. That's one of the things people do want to take it to the personal life. When you are a creator in particular, if you are
Yeah.
not successful in your personal life, then they figure you don't know what you're doing, right? And they don't even know what the circumstances are. You could have been married at one point, maybe not now, right?
I was.
Right. And something, we won't even go hard on whatever the reason was, but things happen, right? It could have been somebody could just start using, right? It could be a substance abuse. It could be, somebody became violent, right? It could be infidelity. It could be a lot of different things. Or, sometimes it's just, ID and reconcilable, differences. And that's
I don't like to choose
sometimes
that.
what it is.
No. That's not an excuse that I use. So the reason for my divorce was because there was violence, and
Okay.
and it was detrimental to me and my children. And it wasn't that I was like, okay, you were violent one time and that was it. But it was, so my divorce took 3 years to get finalized.
Oh my
And the
God.
reason why is because I didn't want to get divorced, to be honest. I wanted him to go to counseling. I wanted him to go to anger classes. I wanted us to do it together. So I pushed our divorce. And I waited, but I waited 3 years. And then one thing led to another, and the judge was like, our divorce ended up finalized because he just wouldn't. He just wouldn't. I ended up with full custody of all of our kids, and that's just the way that it happened.
Yeah.
And so unfortunately, and so yeah.
No, sometimes you could do everything right and still end up with the wrong result. It's unfortunate, but it doesn't mean it doesn't discourage you, right, from like dating anyone else or anything. I wouldn't believe. I probably think that in retrospect, you probably realize that sometimes no matter what it is that you do, it doesn't mean that the other person is going to reciprocate it. So you probably, in retrospect, realize certain things like, oh, that's a red flag. And it doesn't mean you disqualify everybody, but you pay close attention to people's habits, what it is they do, their upbringing, background, all of those types of things, so you won't repeat the same mistake. You just are cautious, but it doesn't mean you reject everyone who comes your way.
So I also want to say, so toward the end of our marriage, so I was with him for almost a decade, and toward the end of our marriage, we had our children. I got married very young. We had our children like back to back, ranging from the age of 12 to 20.
Ooh.
So
Okay.
I was with him for a long time, but toward the end of our marriage, I'm going to be honest, like I became very bitter there is some infidelity in our marriage, and instead of me forgiving the way that I was supposed to, I began to resent him. I became bitter. We had our children, and it was definitely a struggle for me, mentally and emotionally, and managing those emotions that I didn't know how to do, and it didn't add to the peaceful atmosphere in the home that I should have been able to cultivate. And I can say I don't think that, so even outside of infidelity, because I still chose to stay with him, but I didn't forgive him the correct way, and I know that now that I didn't know then. And even as far as like, so I don't believe that any man should put his hands on a woman in any way, shape, or form,
Right.
even to the extreme that it happened with me. But I could have also not been as controlled my mouth, to be honest, which I didn't know how to do back then that I do know how to do now. And that's why whenever I have conversations like with women, I'll tell them, like, what did you do? Because I don't believe that it's ever just one-sided. I truly don't. And even if it doesn't matter. I know that there's that one whole thing, like there should be nothing that you can say to where a man puts his hands on you or any way, shape, or form. But I don't want to absolve the fact that there were things that I could have not said to not add to it. I could have like not been as nagging, or I should have left sooner, or a lot of different things. And there were a lot of different choices that I could have taken, but I didn't. And a lot of it was a lack of emotional intelligence, a lot of maturity emotionally and mentally. The things that I should have learned that I didn't learn, because my childhood kind of plays a role in it as well.
Okay.
And so I had to grow up, and it was difficult to also grow up with someone who wasn't grown up either, if that makes sense. And so that's how I ended up divorced by the age of 30.
Okay. So I have to commend you on your transparency, because you honestly didn't have to do that. I actually gave you the opportunity to completely sidestep
Yes.
that one, and you didn't. But I'm sure that there will be someone that's going to hear this who it will resonate with. The only thing I have to ask you is, because the one thing you did not discuss was, how did you heal? I think that's most important than anything, because most people don't get from your circumstances that you dealt with to where you are now. So what did that look like? What was the main thing? When did the light come on? What was it that brought you from where you were to where you are now?
There was a couple of different things. So there were two women in particular. Ironically, both of their names are Teresa. And then there was a man. His name is Otis Hewitt. He changed my life. So when I initially got separated from my ex-husband, I had to go into living in a DV shelter. And so it was very, very difficult to manage, like getting around the DFW, because I'm actually from Texas. And I lived
Okay.
in the
I
DFW.
was out there a little while ago too.
Yeah, so the family place is the DV shelter that I was at. Is an amazing shelter. Actually, my story and what they helped me with and through is one of the stories that they share on their website. They have photos of like me and my children when we were there. And by the grace of God. So me, first and foremost, it was not me. I would say it is not me. It's definitely all God. Like, not
Well,
me.
you had to put in some work, because they could tell you anything they want
Yes.
to, and you still have to.
Yeah.
You had to put in some type of work, right? Even though you had some great mentorship, you still had to do something, right? You still had to put the work in, even though it was under guidance, it was under instruction. For one, you did give out a great resource that people can look to if that's the case, but at the same time, you didn't become bitter. You didn't become apprehensive now to say, "Oh, I'm not dating again," or "the hell with these men," or "men are evil," and all the typical things that happen from a person typically who deals with similar circumstances to yours. You had to put some type of work in. I'm sure they gave you instructions on things to do. What helped you?
So I'm gonna be even more transparent. Within the first 2 years, actually within the first year, I was bitter. Like I was after my divorce got finalized, I was so upset, and I was so bitter, and I was so angry. Like I couldn't understand why. And I went into this mindset of being so angry, like at the world. But then, so it was a man, he approached me, or I was going to counseling, and he told me, he said, "Hey, You didn't deserve this, but it's where you're at now. And if you don't change it, your daughters will become victims and your sons will become abusers. And that really, really hit me.
It resonated.
So I didn't want my daughters to end up hating the world, and I didn't want my sons end up hating the world from where we were at. And I knew that I didn't want to be living in poverty. And I started, and this probably sounds really bad or ironic, but I started praying. And I didn't really know God either. And I was like, man, I don't even know if I'm doing this right, you know? And so even now when I pray, I'll be like, okay, Lord, I know that you know that I know that you know, da 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 da.
Right.
You know, so
right.
I think it's different for everybody.
Yeah, but I can pull from that for sure. I'm going to tell you what although you explained it in almost plain English, you're saying you didn't know what did it. I can tell you exactly what did it. It was certainly you thinking of your children, you considering someone else aside from yourself. And when you put your children first and you consider what the potential outcome is for them, then that would turn the tide. I think that's what the main thing was. Once someone actually brought that to your attention and it resonated, and you're like, damn, no, I don't want this for my kids. Even though I may not think that much of myself right now, I think the world of my children, and I'm going to do what's best for the children. So that worked out perfectly. I listen. You made me stay a little longer, but I definitely appreciate it. I'll let you if you had something else though. I'll let you close.
No, that's it.
Don't dip off yet. I'm gonna shut this down and then you know what I mean. I'll yeah. Don't just hold tight for a second. I'm gonna close the show. Let me see. Yes, hopefully y'all enjoyed this. We appreciate you for coming out. Thank you for everyone who came through and participated, showed some love. We're going to be doing this more often for sure. I appreciate you and love you for it. And as always, stay hungry, my friends. Never thirsty.